All right, then. So let's see if this will be better now. It's Bami Kole Williams Akombi is the director, International Ocean Institute. He's joining us on the phone line right now. Hello, Mr. Akombi.
Hello, good morning.
Okay,
good morning, Mr. Victor. Good morning, Lagos.
Yeah, it's much better now. So talk to me. The International Ocean Institute, what do you guys do?
Well, International Ocean Institute is an international it's an international governmental organization. We call them it's part of the BINGO. That's the big international non-governmental organization. The headquarters is based in Malta, and it's been in existence since 1972. But in 2002, an MOU was signed with Nigeria Institute for Oceanography and Marine Research. So IOI Nigerian Center was established in year 2022.
Right. And what have you guys been doing ever since?
Because we have the same mandate or congruent mandate with Nigeria Institute for Oceanography and Marine Research in Nigeria, which is to promote education, training, and research to enhance peaceful use of ocean space, its resources management, regulation, protection, and conservation, which is to be guided by the principle of common heritage.
Right.
The ocean is for everybody, because it is what connects everybody together in the world.
So let's look at the use of the ocean space that we have. From your perspective, are we making good use of the ocean resources that we have?
Well, that's a big question to answer, but then I will try and break it down. The ocean has been of use to everybody in the world, anybody, irrespective of where you are, because the ocean regulates everything on Earth. And that is why it is only the Earth that you have the various life of biodiversity or various life forms that exist. In most of the other planets, you cannot find it. The ocean, which is more than about 3/4 of the Earth's surface, is what sustains life. It's what sustains everything, the climate and everything that is on. Now, have we been using it fairly? Not true, because I think it is because of our evolving system. The human population started to grow, and then I think in the last 50 years it started going astronomically high.
Right.
And then the technology advancement, healthcare, and everything started developing, and we need to feed the mouth. We need more resources for the higher population, and the ocean is the only thing that we started going into. But as we have been using it, we seem to be affecting it.
Right.
Therefore, we now there is now effort to start creating awareness of our impacts on the ocean.
And what are some of those impacts? What are those impacts? What are the things that we're doing that are harming the oceans?
There are so many of it, because we feel that the ocean is something that is too vast. We cannot finish it. We cannot affect it. But now there are empirical and serious data available that even the climate change that we say is happening is as a result of our impact on the ocean. Most of the things that we don't need has now started becoming a pollution. They are now becoming a problem through pollution. We harvest resources just because we want to feed our mouth.
Right.
Although we harvest it for us to use, but in many ways we don't harvest sustainably. Sustainability means that not taking what you don't really need or wasting what you don't need. Wasting resources that is there, so that it can be there for you later in life and also for your generation.
So let's look at the resources that the ocean offers. Not too long ago, Mr. President set up the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy, and people have talked about how rich or what Nigeria can really gain from this. So in true context, Dr. Akombi, talk to our listeners really. How rich are the oceans that we have around us?
Well, as I said, the ocean is the biggest thing, but God has bestowed on Nigeria that we have a long coastline. We have a 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, and recently, I think early last year, we have gained some extended extended continental shelf, which is an addition
right.
to what we have. So in terms of maritime space, particularly in Africa, particularly in Gulf of Guinea, Nigeria has an enormous area where we can take on the potential. And a lot of resources are there. You have oil and gas, which has been the mainstay of our economy. You have fishery resources. You have some level of tourism. But then there's maritime trade. The maritime sector generates a lot of money for Nigeria through the ports, through marine trade and everything, and things that are coming into the country or going out of the country. So there is a lot of potential. But in line with what Mr. President had done, because he's seeing this potential, that he decided to create a sector or a ministry to oversee this, which is a very welcome development, because now activity from that ministry is supposed to be tailored to harness the potentials that we have. There are so many, apart from the fisheries, apart from the oil sector, there is tourism. Nigeria is not really taking advantage of marine tourism potential that we have. Even though there are some levels, but it's still at infancy. I will even categorically say Nigeria is among the lowest countries in Africa that is making money from tourism. And marine tourism is because of our vast area, we can take a lot of advantage from it. Then there is offshore energy exploitation. I know it's a bit technical, but these are things that we can start doing, and we can start leveraging on natural forces of wind, of waves that we can use to generate electricity. We are talking about also potentials from biotechnology. The ocean is the biggest aquarium. It has the biggest, the smallest animal, the biggest animal, and it has a lot of biotechnological potential in terms of pharmaceuticals, in terms of cosmetics, and so on. These are areas that we can still take advantage of if the ministry puts the effort. And I believe the ministry, we know what the ministry is doing, and they are really moving forward. Even though at the same fancy, they are really advanced in that regard.
So in terms of utilization of all these resources you mentioned, the vastness of the ocean and how rich it is, how well are we tapping into this? I mean, if you had to give a percentage of how or what Nigeria is making from the ocean, what percentage will it be?
Well, I cannot really give a percentage, but I know that certain sectors are well developed and based on these marine areas. As I've mentioned, our marine trade is so large, particularly in Africa. Fishery sector is also it's not so bad, even though we can improve it more. We are only concentrating in an area. There are still vast areas extended beyond where we are exploiting now to tap into those resources. In terms of tourism, we can still make better, because you can now see the coastal road is coming up, right, which is a good infrastructure that can develop tourism.
So let me ask you a simple question. Let me just interrupt you. If I'm going to ask you a simple question. So as vast as the oceans are, can the fishes that we have there, can it feed the population of Nigeria?
No. I'll categorically state that. There's something we call standing biomass. It may not be able to feed Nigeria because we have a very huge population. But there are things that we can do, and that is also growing, and that is aquaculture. Aquaculture is supposed to supplement or even overtake the capture fishery system. Some countries, God gave resources to every country. It wasn't so equal. There are some countries that have fishery resources that can sustain them and even over-sustain them, which they now convert into export market. You're talking of people from Peru, you're talking of Chile, you're talking of Brazil, you're talking part of the northern hemisphere in Europe, the Norwegians and so on. They have resources that are that vast enough that can sustain them and for export. But Nigeria, most of it, if we harvest everything, Nigeria will finish it.
Right.
So, in a way, we still need to supplement, possibly through importation,
right,
and also start thinking well of developing our aquaculture system to supplement the food system that we have.
All right. Some messages are coming in.
And as I sorry, just a little addition.
Okay.
As I mentioned, the present focus of fishing exploitation that we are having now is just within a small area, in narrow fringe. But we still have some extended part of Nigerian water that are yet untapped, that are yet to be exploited.
All right.
So if we start exploiting this will add to what we have, and then we can move. We can start thinking of full sustainability.
All right. This one says, "Good morning, Traffic Radio. How can the fishing industry be modernized to boost economic returns?" Nkechi is sending that one in. Another message here says, "How is climate change impacting ocean-based livelihoods?" You didn't put your name, but thank you so much. This one says, "Mr. Akombi, how are we managing the plastic waste crisis that's affecting our oceans?" Gabriel is sending that one from Victoria. And I think I needed to touch on that as we round off the program this morning, because water pollution is a major problem. Is that not so?
Come again?
I said water pollution is a major problem. Is that not so?
Yes. Yes, when we say water pollution, we are talking of so many things. But let me just quickly address the one he said, which is
in 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, because do not have time.
Yes, plastic pollution has been a major problem, and there's nothing we can do without plastic. Plastic that comes to stay. Even when we ban it, we will discover that other alternatives will be much more costlier. But I would like to cite Lagos State as an example where there is a very growing industry about recycling. Now Lagos State is becoming cleaner. If you drop a plastic bottle now, you discover in less than 10-30 minutes, 10-30 minutes, it will disappear because it has now become a waste of wealth. People are now making money from it. Even I know people that go to event centers to pay in order to clear all the plastic because there is an industry and there is now a wealth to be generated.
Right.
So what we are doing presently is to cut what is going into the environment. But the effort should still be into going into that environment to extract what is already there.
Okay. All right.
But for now, most of the effort that is going on is about curtailing what is going into the environment and making it into use to recycle it to something better. But at least for the present moment, the effort that is being practiced by Lagos, I'm sure there are some other states, I think,
are doing the same as well.
All right. Coming online in order to reduce this plastic pollution problem.
We have to leave it at that for now. Mr. Akombi, it's nice having you on the program. Thank you so much for connecting with us on the program.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
All right. Here's Williams Bamikole Akombi, who's the director of International Ocean Institute. And this morning, we'll be trying to look at how the blue economy and how we can harness ocean resources for sustainable development. Dayo Anthony has produced the program. Maximum shout out going out to Rebecca Adamu, Assistant Director Public Relations for the Nigerian Shippers Council. And of course, from the studios as well, I say a big thank you to Okpayemi Shodunke. And our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. My name is Victor Oteri. I'm out. Stay very much within. Bye.